41 shots, the life and loss of Amadou Diallo. In the dusty streets of Labi, Guinea, a boy named Amadou Diallo grew up surrounded by family and tradition. Born on September 2, 1975, he was the eldest son of Saiko and Kadiatou Diallo. His father was a businessman who often traveled, while his mother managed the home. Amadou grew up with responsibilities on his shoulders, but also with warmth. His family remembered him as a quiet, respectful, and deeply thoughtful. He dreamed of following his father's footsteps as an engineer, building bridges and creating solutions. Education was his path, and he studied hard. Yet, like many young Africans, Ahmad also looked at the wider world. America, he thought, was a place where hard work could bring success. In 1996, Amadou Diallo left Guinea. He carried little with him but determination, boarding a plane that would take him first to Thailand, then to New York City. It was not an easy decision. His family wept when he left, but they trusted his courage. New York was overwhelming. The noise, the size, the rush of people. Amadou found work as a street vendor in Manhattan. He sold CDs, t-shirts and trinkets on sidewalks, standing for hours in cold and heat. The money was not much, but it kept him afloat. He shared a small apartment in the Bronx and sent money home whenever he could. Those who knew him remember a man who was unfailingly polite, always with a gentle smile. He avoided trouble, stayed focused, and dreamed of returning to school one day. He lived quietly, a stranger in a vast city, but one who carried hope in every step. The night of February 4th, 1999, it was past midnight on Wheeler Avenue. The winter air was sharp, and Amadou stood near the steps of his building. Perhaps he was unwinding from a long day, or perhaps he was waiting for a friend. At that moment, four men in plain clothes drove down the street. They were part of the NYPD Street Crime Unit, a division known for its motto, "We own the night." The men Sean Carroll, Richard Murphy, Edward McMillan, and Kenneth Ball spotted Amadou. To them, in the dim lights, he resembled a suspect in a rape case. They stopped the car, then moved toward him quickly. Amadou, surprised, stepped back into the vestibule of his building. English was not easy for him, and the men were shouting. Fear flickered in his eyes. Instinctively, he reached into his pockets, perhaps to show his wallet, perhaps simply to steady himself. The officers believed they saw a gun. The first shot cracked the night, then another, and another. In a storm of panic and gunfire, 41 bullets were fired, 19 struck Amadou. He collapsed on the cold concrete, his wallet beside him. He never had any weapon. News traveled fast by morning. Headlines blazed, unarmed immigrants killed in 41 bullet police barrage. People poured into the streets, furious and heartbroken. Too many New Yorkers. This was not just about Amadou Diallo. It was about years of fear and frustration, about young black men targeted and treated as threats. Civil rights leaders like Reverend A.I. Sharpton and groups like the NAACP led marches across the city. In Guinea, Amadou's parents received the devastating call. Their son, who had traveled so far for opportunity, had died in a hail of bullets. They flew to New York to bury him, their grief becoming a symbol of a larger injustice. The four officers were charged with second-degree murder and reckless endangerment. The case was moved from the Bronx to Albany, a decision many believed would favor the officers. In court, the defense argued that the officers had acted in fear of their lives. The prosecution argued that Amadou was innocent, that the shooting was reckless and avoidable. The trial was watched across the nation. In February 2000, the verdict came. All four officers were acquitted, to Amadou's family and to countless supporters. It felt like justice had been denied. Though the court did not convict, Amadou Diallo's name lived on. Musicians like Bruce Springsteen and Wyclef Jean sang about him. Poets wrote his story. His name was shouted in protest, written on banners, remembered in sermons. His family created the Amadou Diallo Foundation, offering scholarships to young people in Guinea and the United States. His mother, Kadiatou, became a voice for justice, telling her son's story so the world would never forget. Amadou Diallo was not a criminal. He was a young man with dreams, cut down by fear, prejudice, and violence. His story became larger than one life. It became a call for change. And so the world remembers him, not only for the way he died, but for the life he lived,